Hey everybody, I'm Aldrich. You may have heard. So I want to talk a bit about observability. I am also on Twitter at crazy, which is spelled like on the slides, not like what you think. And I work for Elastic. If you want to know why they care about observability, talk to me later because I only have 5 minutes. So if you've heard of observability before, you've probably heard it in the context of monitoring, and you may be thinking to yourself, isn't this just monitoring with like better marketing behind it so you can sell me more tools? Well, you're not wrong. But it's a bit like saying that cloud is someone else's computers or there's still servers in serverless, right? It's fundamentally true, but misses this like mental shift that we're doing. We're approaching it from a new angle. So who knows what this is? It is a lamp stack, right? Yeah. So we're not deploying software like this anymore, right? You're not installing a binary on a server that, like, if you turn it off, people can't access it anymore. Or at least I hope you're not. If you are, sorry. We're trying to build like microservice meshes, right? Like you can turn a computer on and off and nobody cares. Everything keeps working. It's been redeployed somewhere else. A whole region has gone down and you can still stream Netflix. It's wonderful. But consequently, everything is just a little bit broken all of the time. It's just we don't really notice. Our services still work. As a customer, we're still able to access what we want to access. So this is true if we've sort of shifted our infrastructure problems left. That's large, we always talk about shifting left. How do we monitor it then? If we shift our perspective to the right and start caring about what do our customers actually experience, what's the value that's actually being delivered, that's where we start to talk about observability. It's a little bit different than the monitoring we've been doing up until this point. You see, we're caring about the service health, not the system health that's happening there. My CPU isn't necessarily directly related to whether or not I can stream movies on Netflix, right? So that's where we're at this point. So this is sort of the rough definition of observability and the best I've been able to amalgam from all the definitions that are out there. The gist is you want to be able to see what's actually happening in my service at any given point in time without having to write new code, without having to take it apart, without having to do that sort of thing. And people will sell you the 3 pillars of observability: metrics, logs, and APM. And I guess if you want to just install 3 things and not actually change what you're doing and say you have an observability, great, go do those 3 things. But saying those are the 3 pillars of observability is a little bit like saying the 3 pillars of carpentry are mahogany, pine, and oak. Sure, I guess you could use those things, but there's nothing inherent about them that gives you carpentry, just as there's nothing inherent about logs, metrics, and APM that give you observability. They're the media we work in, not the thing itself. So we have to understand, for instance, that metrics are great at providing these cool numbers we can do math with, but they're really symptom indicators. They can't tell us what the problem is. We want to know things that, like logs and events, help us dissect by high cardinality. You can track things like user IDs and shopping carts, because if you have 1 million requests, guess what? Each one of those is 1 in a million. You want to be able to slice all of those. And if you're serving 1 billion requests, you know, so much the better. APM and traces, like if events are a moment in time, APM and traces can provide that map. You can say, what does my service look like when it's healthy? And when it goes wrong, what's taking a long time? What looks weird? What's different from when it's normal? They can kind of point you in the right direction so you can investigate further. Dashboards are mostly scar tissue from past incidents. They should be able to be tossed out and changed and thrown away, because they really only tell you what happened last time if they're sticking around over and over again. And all of this, right? If we've got strong observability, we know what's happening in our systems, we can actually do experiments in production environments. We can test our software. Hey, what happens if we deployed it this way? What would be the impact on our customers? Let's find out. You should also care about feature flags and canary deploys, but that's a different talk because I only have 5 minutes. And this isn't, by the way, saying you should get rid of QA, right? They're probably really good at thinking about things from a customer perspective and writing things like black box probes, so you can actually see what a customer sees from the outside. And also keep dashboards for other aspects. Sales probably cares about revenue. Marketing probably cares about those campaigns if you can get observability data on that. Or OPSEC, right? They care about the types of data you can extract from your services and your systems as an SRE or observability team. Because at the end of the day, your customers, whoever they are, don't care if your data center is literally on fire, just as long as you're still delivering the value that you deliver there. So being able to trace that and show, hey, because we're doing this work, this is the value that's being delivered. Here's what we changed and it's gone up or down or what's happening. And so when you go to ask for like a raise at the end of the day and you can draw that line, it's going to be much better. So thank you.